While in prison, I met Michele, who's serving a life sentence for a murder that took place during a home invasion she committed with her abusive ex-boyfriend. Was it your boyfriend at the time? Was prostituting you, and why don't you take me there? Take me back.
I was 18 years old when I moved in with him. Thought I knew him, but obviously I didn't. He was a gang member and a drug dealer, and first it was pleasing him sexually, whatever he wanted to do, and then when I would refuse him, he would attack me at night. He would put me in a motel room and have these men come and do whatever they wanted to. I felt like a piece of meat. I felt like I deserved to be punished. I deserved everything that he was doing to me. He had total power over me.
How did you get to the home evasion robbery that day?
He acted like he was a businessman and wanted to do certain things, yard work or something, some story. So when he acted like he was pulling out his business card, he pulled out a gun and he forced his way into the doorway, and I followed right behind him like a scared little puppy. He proceeded to stab this woman.
Why did he stab her when he already had what he needed?
Now, I don't know why he did it. He wanted to hurt this woman because he hated her for being a woman.
So he's stabbing her and you're watching this happen?
I just stood there. I stood there like a coward, and I didn't do anything to help the greatest miracle that happened in 2001, where the victim that died, her husband contacted the institution and wanted to forgive me. He asked that I would correspond with him. He asked permission. So we started corresponding. He said, I want you to do something hard, Michele. I want you to forgive that man. I want you to forgive your abuser. And I want you to forgive yourself. So it was almost like he gave me permission to live again.
How do you think you'll feel if you get up to that parole board and the victim's family's there, everybody's supporting you, and they say, Michele, we're not going to let you out?
I'm going to continue on. I'm not going to lose faith. I will even become stronger and help other women that were in the same situation. Because I'm going to live, because today I'm more free than I ever was out there.
Dr. Richard Gayton is the husband of the woman Michele murdered, and he is here today with his son, Joel. Dr. Gayton, how can you find it in your heart to forgive something so awful, something that is so evil, and something that took the most important person at the time, your partner, away from you? I don't understand it.
I think it was essential for my healing to do that. Soon after the murder, the way I really handled the poison that came from I mean, our whole family was really affected dramatically by this, but I was also just blown away by the murder. And
so you're saying it's like a poison that seeped into your...
Yeah, there's just nothing quite like having someone that you're so close to removed in that fashion. But I began to study a spiritual text right after that. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was a psychologist. I thought I knew how to handle things. I didn't know what to do. And my brother-in-law gave me this text called A Course in Miracles. I began to read it, and it talked about forgiveness. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it. But I began to hear a voice inside of me that gave me direction on what to do. And in time, the direction was to contact Michele, was for my own healing. Not for hers, for mine.
For yours.
You know, really for mine. Because
and before you found The Course in Miracles and found this book, you initially wanted to die.
Yes.
Or kill them.
It was either I wanted to die or I wanted to go find them and hunt them down and kill them. Those were my two impulses.
But you found the forgiveness. Now, Joel, I know that you have a total opposing view to your father when it comes to this. Talk about that.
Well, I don't have an opposing view to him, you know, offering forgiveness.
What's your opposing view?
Well, I just don't need him to be, you know, to be involved in her release in any way. That's not something that I think is appropriate.
What is it like watching her speak?
It just brings everything back, you know.
What does it bring back?
Just the daily pain that you have to deal with, you know.
How old were you when your mom died?
I was 13.
13 years old. When your mom was murdered, shall I say?
Yeah, so I'm basically here today for her because I know that she doesn't she was a fighter, you know, and she wouldn't want Michele to be released yet.
Do you think she would want Michele released, Richard?
I don't know. I suspect Ramona would not want me to be here doing this. But what I think she would want is for me to be the best person that I can be. And the best person I am is a forgiving, loving, caring person at times.
How do you deal with your son's feelings? Because I see he's physically agitated.
Yeah.
How do you deal with his feelings about
Listen to them and respect them. I think he has the full right to feel exactly what he feels and to be exactly where he's at, and whatever it takes for him to survive is what I'm in favor of.
Do you think that you are connecting to Michele in such a strong way because it connects you to your wife in some way?
I think
still a connection?
I think for me it does. I think what my wife would have wanted from me was to survive and to love and to be the best person, I guess using that word again, the best person I could be. So I feel like I'm honoring her that way. She was a very private person, a very fiercely loving person. She wouldn't do it like this. She wouldn't do it what I'm doing. But I think she would respect what I'm doing. She might disagree with it, as Joel's disagreeing, but she would respect it. And she would understand that that is the way that I survive. You know, that's what I do to survive.
Well, whether or not you support her release or not, I respect your emotions and your feelings. And I'm so sorry for your loss, because nobody deserves to lose their mom. No one deserves that. Okay? Thank you. We'll be right back.